Welcome back, folks. Jason34 here, back with another video. Welcome to my new series of Foundry. This series will be starting out on version 0.6.0.21116. The Foundry Galactic Commerce Update 2. It has been a very long time since I played this game, so I haven't played it since it came out. I played it for a while when it first came out, like first launch. But I got bored with how little there was in the game, so I moved on. And I came back to it just recently, just to see what it was about, and I have decided to start up a new series for this game. Or edit the series, the playlist I already had, and I'm going to start a brand new series starting now. Let's see, we're gonna just name it what we did in our last try for the recording. It just canceled out because I changed the window mode. Alright, now we're gonna get in, we're gonna try to enjoy the game. I like that they have these little carrier ships around, like that yellow one. I like that yellow looking one. That one looks really cool. I wonder what that actually operates on. Does it operate on like a little robot that flies it around?
Welcome, operator. I'm Carl, your facility management artificial intelligence.
I'll try not.
Congratulations on acquiring a building permit and a derelict space station on this resource-rich moon, an ideal spot for industrial business endeavors. My goal is to assist you in setting up this factory. Let's run a few basic checks before we get started. Open your map to check your surroundings.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to pause it here when we get started. I did just see Carl introducing himself, so that's a thing. We'll move this recording window just right over here. We're not going to put it on the edge because I don't want to lose that recording window. What's this? Smelter. Ah, yes, I remember this. You have to insert the basic materials. Well, there are a few spots around here I can work with, but I'll have to come back here in I don't know, about 10 minutes when I get back from doing my weeding. I gotta go outside and spray some weed chemicals on some weeds, apparently. I'll be back in a little while. Alright, folks, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go out and do some weed, spray some weeds. Hello. Pet. How does a robot even get away with petting wildlife? That doesn't make sense, but sure. Drill. This is going to be important, so we're going to go and drill off all these big nuggets here. Big nugget! Now we got to go over here and do this one. Oh, there's an autosave. Okay, keep going. Drilling. And motoring. Doing the thing. Alright, we've activated our flashlight. Biomass is acquired. Alright, let's go do the thing. Let's see.
Fantastic. There are several ore patches in the vicinity. Equip your ore scanner from the inventory and use it to locate the ore patches.
Backpack. Ore scanner.
To get started, approach both of the ore patches and mine some ore. Great! Now that we have an initial supply of ore, we need to smelt it into plates and rods. Go back to your drop pod and use the built-in smelters to create your first crafting materials. Now that we have basic materials available, we should start crafting building blocks which act as a foundation for other buildings. To do so, you need to open the crafting menu and click the desired items. Then, place them in the shape of a platform next to one of the ore patches. The orange ore will be in higher demand. I suggest starting with that.
Okay. Okay, what we're going to need to do is to place this here. I'm not really sure what I can use a dirt for, but that's okay. I'll find a use for it. If I don't find a use for it, I'll just throw it away or put it in a storage crate or something. Something like that. I think that should be enough.
To automate ore extraction, we need to set up a drone miner. Craft one and place it on top of your foundation right next to the ore patch.
Drone miner. I need more machinery cards. Okay, backpack. I select this and this.
Drone miners and most other buildings require power to function. Let's build a biomass generator on the same foundation as the drone miner. Once built, you need to harvest some plants and trees with your mining drill to collect biomass. Insert the biomass into the generator and it will start to power all buildings on the same foundation as the generator.
One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay, so I need to go to the very furthest block, and I need to roll 5 blocks down. That way I have enough space on the other side as well. Space around it. I'm big enough the foundation plate around it, so I'll be able to build all my factories. All my factories related to this thing, or at least my starting factories. Obviously, I won't be able to build all of them here, but I'll be able to build at least my drone miners in this area. Crafting. on this side, and one on the other side as well.
Go watch your mining drones acquire your first automated ore. Aren't they beautiful? Anyways, we need to get going. Let's build a smelter next.
With 4 of these miners, I shouldn't have to be worried about running out of ore for a while. Because this thing is able to mine this entire deposit here. I won't build any more plates. I'm gonna just let them work on mining this whole thing out right here. I guess I forgot to fill that one space in right there. Nice. Okay, what's next? Build a smelter. Alright, let's open this, and we're gonna put this in here, and that in there. Move this down here. Go stick this into the doohickey over here and smelt more of these plates. I mean, it should last. It seems like at least a little while. Not really sure exactly how long it'll last, but it's basically all but maxed out with all these drones. This one grid is maxed out. I'll probably have to make the smelter a part of a separate grid. Or, I mean, I guess I could connect them together and just put a second burner here to provide additional power. I know there's only 2 deposits right here in this general spot. There is something down here, but I don't know what that is. There's something here and here. Place the smelters here.
The smelter is more efficient than the inbuilt drop pod smelter, so you should start using this from now on. Another benefit is that we can automate the smelters to make our life easier. For this, you need to connect the drone miner to a smelter by using loaders and conveyor belts. Let's start by crafting the required machines. 2 loaders, one for the smelter and one for the drone miner, as well as a few belts to connect them. While you're crafting those, let us recap the plan. We will set up a basic factory to provide us with the most crucial resources to get started. Then we'll look at getting the space station up and running again so that we can use it as a sales hub for our future products.
I'll come back in a little bit. I'm gonna go over and gather whatever I can out of this thing. I'm gonna push out here, and I'm gonna actually just dig out a much larger area so I can build a unified production point for plates. First, I gotta clear up all the trees. I'm sorry, trees, but you have to go. Try to collect whatever blocks I need. Now I just gotta start hollowing out this area here. This I should be done. I should be, most of these metals, the plate things should be finished smelting by the time I'm finished with this, so I'll better build up a whole lot of materials. Foundations and then the loaders and the belts and smelters crafted, and then hopefully I'll better get the crates made as well as the base crates so I can get a whole storage system going. Want to get this filled in, I won't have to expand this particular section for a while. drilling, 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 drilling. I'm focusing so hard. Usually when I focus this hard, I forget to actually talk about random things while I'm actually playing. But it's becoming like a long, quiet segment where I'm not saying anything. I have a really bad habit on that for that particular thing. It's a real bad habit. Like no commentary for a long, at least 30 seconds to a full minute of no talking, because I just start focusing hard on whatever I'm doing, and I'm thinking only about that, and that's it. Luckily, I'm done with this. Now, all we're done with that, we can go and do the drilling. Now let's go check the other one as well. We also need to refill the biomass smelters as well. The biomass machine. Yep. Seems like I'm gonna need a lot more. We're just gonna get a whole bunch of technum stuff here, because I need to get a whole thing here as well. Alright, let's see. We need to start excavating around this thing as well, this deposit here next. So, I'm probably going to have to do a different setup here. I'm going to work on excavating this. I'll be back when I finish excavating, because this is going to take a lot longer since it's a two-stack. Alright, folks. I've now got the, what is this? Xenomite. I've got belts for the Xenomite going, and I've got 2 smelters running at maximum power. I'm about to attach the output points for the belts. There we go. We finished this factory floor here. The floor here should be more or less big enough. View the InfoDB tutorial tabs for production line.
Great! We connected the machines and have automated the tedious process of moving items by hand. Isn't automation great? Now it's time to scale up and build more smelters. A single belt full of ore can feed multiple smelters using the power of loaders. The info database has a diagram if you need one. A loader only adds enough items at a time to a machine to ensure it doesn't stop. This makes it easy for you to have multiple machines fed by a single long belt.
I gotta make sure I'm gonna run the trees when I start excavating. Okay. Alright, now I just gotta go around and get the other side here done. That's all the belts hooked up to one singular, where it'll be. All this ore will be moved up to the second level, so now I simply have to expand this floor here further back, so I can then build my smelting system over here. This way. And this way. Gotta excavate this large area here. So I can put the power floors, the foundation floors down so I can build my smelters and get all of it melted up. Got to finish excavating this so I can place those foundation floors down and we can get the rest of the techno stuff, the rest of the techno factory things set up here, and then we can get storage boxes put on the end of the belts, and then we'll have basically all the rods and plates we need at any time to build whatever we need. Then you get assemblers or something after that, I think. Alright, here we go, and now we can just... There we go, now we gotta make sure the panels are on the proper sides here.
We have completed our initial mission of setting up a smelting facility. We've done a great job, haven't we? According to our business plan, new machine blueprints will be created from research. My archive contains plans for a research server. Through material analysis, I should be able to provide a beacon blueprint, which we are going to need to notify the station of our planetary location. Let's get going and build a research server.
Check the power ratio to make sure we're not gonna overstep our power. Crafting. I guess I'd done gone to run out of plates, so I'll have to go over here to the smelters to grab more. Alright, now we need to get a research server here. Probably gonna need at least a handful of power to make sure we can operate this thing.
To advance in research, you need to make science packs. Craft a few by hand and insert them into the research server to research the beacon blueprint. There is a previously prepared drop pod with an additional robot assistant on the station. We can call it once we've placed the beacon.
Processing research. Research the emergency beacon. Once we get our little robot buddy, that'll be the end of the first episode there. Then I'll pick up the second episode. Shortly thereafter, I have to go to the store once I finish this, and then I'll leave my guys here to smelt stuff. I might see if I can get the storage crate next. See, so
Got it.
Logistics
We
container
now
right
have
there.
the beacon blueprint. Craft it and place it, but not too close to your existing machines. Those drop pods tend to land right on top of the beacons.
An assembler will be necessary for us to be able to craft these science packs much more efficiently. I think in the first series I played this, I had at least one assembler to make these things. The building of factories does tend to get complicated after a while, especially if you have to keep feeding materials from the basic resource, like the plates and the little rods. You have to feed those into other things, and then feed that stuff into other things in order to get the other things you need. Once I finish this, I'm going to get the basic logistics pack here. Hey, what I want to move stuff to the shipping station. Fuck that. I just want this. That's all I want. This right here. Because I want to be able to actually go to the store, and I want to be able to leave those, the thing in place so I can actually come back and I'll have at least a little bit of stuff that built up. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'll probably go ahead and call down the little buddy here. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Call for help. Press the button.
Great. Now you might want to take a step back and look up.
My God, that's a big ass dimsum.
A real groundbreaker. This corporate command companion bureaucrat bot, C3BB for short, will help us with the administration of our factory. First, let's help him out of that drop pod by deconstructing and placing it in a safe location. Welcome to the ground, C3BB. We have completed setting up our basic manufacturing infrastructure. What's the situation on the space station? It's about to break apart, you say? Spontaneous explosive disassembly. That's extremely troubling. What now? There's a working construction drone bay that we can use to repair the station? Perfect. Let's establish contact and repair the most critical parts. We need to research the space station terminal.
Indeed.
Now that we have the blueprint, we need to build the terminal to finally get a connection to the station's command center. Once built, open the control menu and start the emergency repairs upgrade.
It's about to blow up.
Luckily, the station has a pretty big stock of construction materials, so we don't have to worry about that for a while.
There's freaking No Man's Sky up in here, freaking seeing those giant freighters on the ground that are halfway buried into the ground. Beep, boop. Oh, beep. How are you today, good sir? Huh? I love that guy. I love the little robot guy. Anyways, that'll be the end of this first episode here. It was a long one, but that's how these series works. Whenever I get into big factory games like that, the episodes tend to be pretty long, but so I guess I could try to scale them down, but honestly, I think that it would be up to the viewers because I like making longer episodes because it gives me more time to actually do things. Even though I pause whenever I'm about to do one continuous thing for a very long duration of time, like digging, like excavating a very large area, I will pause and then excavate the whole thing and then unpause whenever I'm done so that you don't have to see the whole rapid excavation of like a very large scale area. Makes it easier. Anyways, if you like this first episode of our new Foundry series, please do leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I will see you again in the next one. Peace!